Okay, so it's time for another concert review. A few weeks ago, I went to see Jean-Michel Jarre's fantastic first appearance in Canada. He was in Toronto, and so my dad and I had to go. We scored tickets, and it has been one of my favorite concerts I've been to in a very long time. The use of stage presence in this concert was just brilliant. When you get right down to it, it's just Jean-Michel Jarre center stage with kind of 2 or 3 musicians off to the side, and he's basically just fiddling around with a whole bunch of electronics. It kind of reminded me of a lot of like the rave scenes, or a lot of those like EDMs, or big raves where it's just like a DJ in front of like a control panel. And I never really gravitated to that style of music creation because I feel like a lot of it kind of came pre-show, and I'm much more of the fan of creating music in the now. Luckily, that was exactly what Jean-Michel Jarre did. Like, everything that you heard was created there and then. It was such a great feeling to hear a lot of these songs that I grew up with. He played a lot of music from his Oxygen albums, the first 3, as well as Equinox, and those albums I kind of grew up with. There was a lot of songs that I hadn't heard before, and hearing it in such a context just blew my mind. The biggest thing that I took away from it was the 3 layers of like transparent screens that he had. Each one had a different thing that was being broadcasted on it that created almost a perfect 3D image when combined. Now, unfortunately, and this is the biggest gripe that I had, I was sitting very close to the wings. In fact, I was on like the furthest east seat. So a lot of my vantage point didn't really line up completely with what was being broadcasted on the stage. Luckily, I was able to kind of put together what was being broadcasted with what I was seeing, but it still kind of bummed me out that I wasn't getting the full effect of the show. Now, overall, I gushed and I loved it. The amount of music, the amount of talent, and the amount of synchronicity between humans and machines was just brilliant. And that was such a treat. And the fact that this was his first show in Canada just really made it that much more oomph for me. The lasers and the light shows were just phenomenal, and I think another thing that I just can't help but gush about, one of the final tracks, he had these beams of 5 lasers and these white gloves, and when he kind of canceled out the light from one, it created a sound, and it was like a scale, so he was essentially playing music with lasers. Just a fantastic kind of cherry on top by the end of the presentation. A fantastic show, one that I kept with me even weeks after the fact. I really wanted to put out this review much sooner, but unfortunately life kind of got in the way, and I haven't been able to put out too many videos in a couple of weeks. So I have kind of settled down after the fact, and I know if I had come to this right afterwards, it would have just been gushing and gushing, but seeing that we're 2 weeks after the fact and I'm still amazed and blown away by it shows the lasting effect of it, and I think that is the true key of a fantastic show. So, that's my take on this whole thing. It's mainly just me gushing about it. What did you guys think? Have you seen Jean-Michel Jarre in concert? If you have, let me know of your own stories by commenting down below. If you haven't, what are some of the songs that you wish you could see, or even an artist that you wish you can see live? Let me know about that also by commenting down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are definitely the best as always. And until next time, notes out.